So it's kind of a late Friday afternoon, and I want to do a little work. I've got a couple things I want to do, and I think should be fairly quick. One is I've got these progressive shocks that I can put on. I'm a pretty heavy boy, and so I'm going to do that. And the other thing is replace this rear rack and grab handle with something that can carry some luggage or some cargo. I'm a little worried about getting that shock on because it's kind of buried behind the muffler. I don't want to replace my muffler yet, and I don't really want to take this one completely off, so we'll see how that goes. Yeah. Hey, so here we are, about halfway through the shock install. Pretty easy. You have to take the exhaust off. There's like a 12 millimeter bolt, and then there's a 17 millimeter kind of screw on bolt that's goes there, and then that all just comes off. Kind of rotate. You have to undo a bolt at the bottom of the exhaust so that it has a little bit of looseness to it, and then yeah, that just kind of rotates off. Yeah, so far not so bad. There's the stock shock, and there's the new progressive shock. You have to use a little eye bolts with the center pieces from the old shock in the new shock, and so I'm going to do that and put this one on one at a time. I'm going to go get the new rack that I have and kind of see how it sits on here, and do that. I'm doing one shock at a time so the thing just doesn't fall to the ground, obviously. So yeah, so there's the first shock. What I would say, and what worked for me, was to put the top on first, and then get the bottom in. You can use something to kind of lever it up a little bit, whereas if you start with the bottom and go to the top, it doesn't work so well. At least that was my experience. So anyway, start with the top, go to the bottom, lever that up, and that'll put your shock on. So I'm gonna go get the other shock put on the other side, and then go get the rack, see where I need to bolt it down. There's a look at the two shocks next to each other. Not a huge difference as far as size goes. This one's a little beefier, but anyway. Now the second one goes on. There it is, with the shocks on there. I think it looks pretty good. It rides stiffer. So yeah, yeah, that's the next step.